One of the things that we pride ourselves in is the fact that confidential rare in Nigeria because it's just going to revolutionize. And I know how to give bloopers.
Let's start what we have come into the room to do.
Hi, my name is Juwa Agebe. I'm the founder of DC Luxury Concierge, which is a concierge company that offers a full offering of on-demand luxury for all types of clientele across board.
All right. So, thank you for being on the show. And well, I think our first question is going to be your unique selling proposition. We want to know, in a competitive market, what sets your luxury services apart? How do you maintain a unique value proposition for your clients?
So, concierge in Nigeria in general are focus-based. So most concierge companies have their niche markets or the industries that they do service. What's different with what we do is that we service all industries, which can be challenging, but we do provide services across board. So as I like to joke and say, everything and anything as far as it's legal, we're able to do. We have a wide range of vendors and partners and affiliates that we work with to be able to meet every demand that has been given to us till date.
So the next question is client experiences. So could you highlight a memorable experience where your concierge service made a significant difference in a client's life? And what impact did it have on your clients and your business?
So I want to believe that all our experiences with our clients are unique and impactful to us. However, I would say one of the things I love to do is work with families. And I have this, there was this particular client that hadn't been to Nigeria in over 20 years. And our services was recommended to her. And she's like, Juwa, I'm coming into Nigeria and I don't want to be stressed, which is quite hard to do. But she was like, I want everything handled for me from when we get to the airport to where we stay, my itinerary. And she was actually also going out of Lagos, which was to Delta State, which was also going to be challenging. And she was like, I want my kids to have a good time. This is their first time in Nigeria, and I want to be able to bring them back. And she was going to be around for about 2 weeks. And even though we did face some challenges that we're able to overcome, one of the things that I do appreciate is when a client calls me after they've left the country and they're back to where they're based, and they thank you for what you've done for them, even though they're paying me to do the job. So to show you that it's gone beyond money and just, the little things that we actually, or the extra miles that we took to make sure that their stay was, memorable.
Entrepreneurial challenges. So every business faces challenges. What were some of your major challenges, or what are some of the major challenges you've encountered while building DC Luxury, and how did you overcome them?
I think it was quite ambitious to think that we could be able to serve, to provide, concierge services for all industries. And I think one of the most challenging things is actually trying to get the right vendors, partners to work with, because when certain things are not within your control and you have to rely on other people, there's a level of trust and faith that you have to make sure that they're able to achieve exactly what you want. And because of that, we do have to work with a wide range of people, and trying to manage all that can be very, very challenging. And obviously, there's always the Nigerian factor that always comes into play, but, it is what it is.
Service customization. Luxury concierge services often require highly personalized solutions. How do you approach customization to meet the unique needs and preferences of your clients?
So every client is unique. So what we already offer is unique. It has to be personalized and customized to what the client wants. I think one of the things that we try to do is go far beyond what the client is actually asking for and offering that to them. So it's always nice for people to feel like I am getting more than what I've actually paid for. So no matter how little the incentive is, we try to go the extra mile. And we study our clients. We do our research. We try to pick up, sometimes we call their P and say, what does your client like? What can we actually add to the service that they would like complimentary? And those things definitely go a long way. And I think that's one of the things that does set us apart. Because for me, money is good and it's always good to make money. Or the wealth of how would I put it? The thing that gives me the most satisfaction is when my client is happy.
That's good. So collaborations are key in the luxury industry. How do you establish and maintain partnerships with high-end brands, hotels, service providers to enhance your offering?
Money. Everybody wants money. As far as I'm making money and you're making money, everybody's happy. Yes, but I also, apart from that, as I said, we try to have a personal relationship with all our vendors and our partners as well, and just make sure and make them feel like we're all in this together. And it's not just I'm taking your service or you're providing me this service. Sometimes we try to meet up, we try to go for dinners, we sit down and we brainstorm and discuss about how we can actually improve both of our businesses. Not in every case, but as much as we can, with our major partners.
This question is crucial in luxury concierge services. How do you maintain client confidentiality and build trust?
One of the things we pride ourselves in is being very discreet with our clients' information. Third parties, partners, and our affiliates have zero information about who they're providing their services to, which I think is very important. And even within house, like this Concierge is small. We try to keep our client services small so that we don't have to share information with so many people. And apart from that, everybody that works with us also has to sign an NDA if you are going to know who the client is. And I think the other thing we try to do is that for every client, whoever your client service person is who, and you're comfortable and you're happy with the person, that person works with you throughout, except obviously there are unforeseen circumstances where that cannot happen. So that you're comfortable with that person and you've built your trust with that person, over time, and they know exactly what you want. So it just makes it easier. So even when you've picked up the phone to call and they're like, oh, Oga, we already know what you want. It's Tuesday, so this is the service you're looking for. That is the kind of thing that we try to do. Go that extra mile.
All right. So entrepreneurial growth. As an entrepreneur, how have you seen your brand grow over the years? What strategies do you employ to expand your business and reach a wider audience?
So even though we do service all industries, I think obviously there are certain industries that we do focus more on because that's the kind of jobs that we get. So for me, when I feel like I have conquered one industry or was set in one industry, it's now to focus on the other industries that I feel maybe they're lagging, in the sense of how do we get more business into that particular industry, or what can we be doing differently, or what are our competitors actually offering that we can actually offer more to our clients, Growth with us, I would say, doesn't necessarily have to do with the services that we offer. It probably has to do with the type of clientele that we acquire. You understand? So we're not stuck just having certain type of people that we give our services to, but to expand our clientele will be where I would say our growth is usually focused on.
Okay. So trends in luxury, the definition of luxury is evolving. In your perspective, what are the current trends in luxury concierge services, and how do you adapt to meet the changing demands of your clientele?
Well, we're trying to keep up with all the new trends that actually come into the industry and try to stay ahead of it most of the time. One of the things which I can't really talk about that we're working on is trying to do something that has actually never been done in Nigeria, in the luxury, industry as well. Well, we're going to be able to offer a service that is so unique to the country itself. As I said, I can't really go into what that can be, what that will be, but we do try to keep up with most of the trends and see how we can incorporate them into all our services.
What are the current trends in luxury concierge services, and how do you intend to adapt the changing demands of your clientele?
Okay, so obviously since after COVID-19, people are beginning to travel more. So we're seeing, some trends that are actually going into more travel and lifestyle. And one of the things that we're working on is actually to change the travel experience in Nigeria, which is definitely going to change the game. And I know it's something that people are going to be very excited about and also appreciate, even beyond our clientele, everybody, So we're excited about that one. And, we want to see ourselves as trend settings.
Luxury concierge services often deal with high-stakes situations. How can you share a scenario where you had to handle a crisis or unexpected situation for a client? And how did your expertise shine in such moments?
I feel every situation we find ourselves in is always a high crisis situation, 80% of the time. We're always running out to skelter around the full place. I think something that was actually quite unique to what we do was where we had a client that his life was at stake, and we had to find a way to make sure that he was safe. It was the first time we were ever doing something like that. It was a request that came in the middle of the night. And I'm happy to say at least we were able to achieve that, within 2 or 3 hours to be able to get his family and everybody safe. It was that serious where we had to actually relocate his family eventually. But those are the kind of things we have to deal with, life and death issues.
Client relationships. So building strong, long-lasting relationships with clients is essential. How do you nurture these relationships beyond transactions, ensuring repeat business and referrals?
Building trust and loyalty with your clients is very important. And as I always say, a little goes a long way. As I previously said, we try to study our clients, know what they like, and, go the extra mile. Going the extra mile for anybody at any given time will always give you repeat business. And I like to say the best marketing tool, regardless of social media, TV, or whatever it is always word of mouth. When someone recommends a service to somebody else, is the best way to actually get business. So for me, it's very important for my clients to be happy with the service, going the extra mile, giving them more than what they've actually expected.
Technology and innovation. In a digital age, how do you leverage technology and innovation to enhance your service or services and provide a seamless experience for your clients?
Well, with luxury, it's very personal. People like to, especially depending on the generation that you're dealing with, most of our clientele, I would say, comes from like the baby boomers, Gen X's, but we're also seeing our clientele is also, expanding into the Gen Zs and the millennials. And the interesting thing about Gen Zs and millennials is that they really don't want to interact with people. But then fine, we'll accommodate that. So we're working on actually getting an app where you can actually have that customized personal experience, regardless of whether you're talking to someone or you're actually doing it on your phone, and you're still going to be satisfied with the outcome.
Good. Okay, so empowering your team. Managing a luxury concierge brand requires a dedicated team. How do you empower and motivate your employees to deliver exceptional service and maintain the brand standards?
So I'd seen this picture on Facebook a long time ago, even before I became an entrepreneur. I think I was in uni, where it was a leader, the difference between a leader and a boss. And what the picture showed was a leader being someone that was part of the team trying to do the work, while the boss was someone that was dictating. So for me, it's very important for me to immerse myself in my work, regardless of the fact that there are people that are more than capable of doing it. Because the minute you set the example, it will definitely show the other people that, okay, if our boss is doing it, then definitely I have to do it as well. And one of the things I like to do is to make it seem like we're one big family. So it's not just my business, it's our business. And obviously the incentives do also hurt as well.
What metrics do you use to measure the success of DC Luxury? How do you define success in terms of client satisfaction, business growth, and brand reputation?
For me, success is not necessarily all about the money that you make. Success is also about customer satisfaction. Is the customer happy with the service that you're providing? And for me, that is what I use to measure if my business is successful or not. The amount of positive. I want to say we get 99% positive feedback. I would want to try and keep it at 100 if it's possible. So for me, it's always striving to actually get to 100% with my clients.
Not more of a question, it's more of an advice to the next entrepreneur. So it's more of your advice to the next person who is trying to build a business, trying to do something impactful in their own niche. So what advice would you give to the next entrepreneur who is watching?
Well, I'm always very wary about wanting to give advice because I don't feel like one box fits all, But one thing I would say is be very passionate about what you do. Going the extra mile goes a very long way. You have to never give up. I think if I was going to give any advice, is never give up. You're going to get a lot of no's, and you're going to get a lot of highs, and you're going to get a lot of lows. And when you are your high, enjoy it. When you're low, strive to come back to the top. So that's one of the things I would say, but never give up. People are in fact, all of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world will tell you that they told no at least once or multiple times. So never take no as an answer. Find out, try and turn your no into a yes. That would be my advice.
So thank you so much for coming on the show today with us. It's been a pleasure having you, and we love to see more of what DC Lottery is going to do for its industry, and then how far the brand goes. So it's always a pleasure having you, and again, we love to see what's to come. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure. Actually, I've enjoyed this interview.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Peace out.